Hello and welcome back. Today we are starting with something truly special. In front of me is a piece of sumac wood, raw, untouched, and full of character. At first glance, it may look like just another log. Rough surface, irregular shape, cracks formed by time. But inside this trunk, there's a story waiting to be revealed. Sumac is not a predictable wood. It grows in tension. It twists. It fights the elements. And that's exactly what makes it so beautiful. Somewhere inside this piece, there's a unique form hidden within. Not just another project, not just another object. Something sculpted by nature first and refined by hand. Let's begin. With the log secured between centers, the real work can finally begin. The first step is always about control. Before shaping anything visible, I turn a tenon at the base. This small detail allows the jaws to grip the wood securely and gives me full stability for the next stages. It may seem like a simple step, but everything depends on it. Once the tenon is ready, I begin shaping the lower part of the vase. Slow cuts, gradual refinement. Establishing the foundation, the base defines the character. It determines whether the piece will feel heavy or elegant, balanced or unstable. After that, I move to the top, flattening the upper surface carefully, removing irregularities, creating a clean reference line. Only when the top is true and aligned can I start shaping the central body. The middle section is where the form truly comes alive. This is where curves meet tension. For this project, I want one detail to remain dominant, that natural white edge beneath the bark. That contrast between light sapwood and darker tones must flow through the entire silhouette. It's not just decoration, it's the identity of this piece. Every cut now is intentional, guided by that natural line. I'm not shaping only a vase, I'm shaping around the story the wood already tells. As the middle section slowly takes its final shape, this is usually the moment when everything starts to feel real. The curves begin to flow naturally. The proportions settle into place, and the piece starts to carry its own presence. This is also the part I enjoy the most. There's something deeply satisfying about refining a form until it feels balanced from every angle. I'm curious, when you watch a project like this, what do you notice first? Is it the shape, the grain, or the small natural details like this bright edge near the bark? For me, that natural contrast is what makes this vase unique. It's not something you can design artificially. It's something nature decided long before I ever touched this wood. Moments like this remind me why I love working with raw material. You never fully control it. You collaborate with it, and now the next step will define the interior and the final character of this piece. Let's take it further. Now I begin opening the vase with a 20mm drill bit, slow and steady. Sumac is dense but cooperative when treated with patience. The drill moves deeper, and with every rotation, fresh shavings spiral outward. But these shavings are not just waste. Sumac has been valued for generations. In many regions, it's known for its natural healing properties. It has been used traditionally to support the body in different ways, from soothing inflammation to strengthening the immune system. Because of that, I don't let these shavings fall to the ground. I collect them carefully. Even the fine curls from drilling deserve respect. Instead of becoming dust on the workshop floor, they can be dried and used for tea. There is something beautiful about that. The same tree that now becomes a vase can still give something more. Not only form, not only design, but warmth in a cup. And that's the kind of connection with nature I truly appreciate. With the opening established, I move to the top surface. This part defines the elegance of the vase. I don't leave it completely flat. Instead, I slightly raise the outer edge, creating a subtle elevation, just enough to frame the opening. This detail will later hold a glass insert, so the wood becomes more than decorative. It becomes a foundation, clean lines, soft transitions, a small personal touch, quiet but intentional. Because even when nature shapes the grain, the final character comes from the hands that guide it. After testing the depth of the glass insert, I realized the opening isn't deep enough. I want the glass to sit slightly elevated above the wood, around 2 centimeters. That small distance makes a difference. It gives the piece lightness. It creates separation between the solid form and the delicate insert. But my drill bit isn't long enough to go any deeper from the top. So instead of forcing it, I adjust the plan. Later, I'll drill from the opposite side to achieve the full depth I need. Sometimes projects evolve like this. You measure, you test, you rethink, and that's part of the craft. Precision isn't about getting everything perfect the first time. It's about making the right decision at the right moment. To continue, I prepare a custom support mount. This will allow me to reverse the vase and drill from the opposite side later. But this decision is not only about drill depth. It's also about the heart of the wood. Right in the center of every log, there is tension. That core holds the most internal stress, especially in wood that is not completely dry. If left inside, it often becomes the starting point for cracks. By drilling through from the other side, I remove that center completely. It's a small adjustment in the process, but it can make a significant difference in the final result. Wood is always moving, always reacting. You can't control it entirely, but you can work with its nature, and sometimes preventing a crack starts long before the finishing oil is applied. Now I glue a wooden cylinder into the base, exactly where the hole passes through. This small addition will define the final depth of the glass insert. Instead of guessing, I create a physical stop. That way, when the insert is placed inside, it will sit at the precise height I planned, about 2 centimeters above the wood. Details like this may never be visible, but they shape the final experience of the piece. The elevation of the glass creates lightness. It allows a subtle shadow line to form between wood and glass, a quiet separation between solid and transparent. This is where function and design meet. Not dramatic, not complicated, just thoughtful craftsmanship. Before moving forward, I make one more light pass with the spindle gouge. Sumac contains a lot of natural resin, especially close to the bark. During sanding, that resin began to smear across the bright white surface. Instead of enhancing the contrast, it softened it, and that's not what I want. The beauty of this vase lies in the sharp dialogue between the pale white edge and the warm yellow tones of the wood. So I make a deliberate choice. No sanding on the outer surface. I finish it directly from the tool. A clean cut from a sharp edge leaves the fibers crisp and defined. It preserves the natural contrast far better than abrasive paper ever could. Sometimes refinement is not about making something smoother. It's about knowing when to stop and trusting the tool. And in this case, the knife gives me exactly the clarity I'm looking for. As I refine the upper edge with the spindle gouge, bringing the surface to its final form, I want to take a moment to thank you for being here. If you enjoy projects like this, where natural wood is shaped with intention and respect, you can now explore more of our work on our new website. We've created a space where each finished piece is presented in detail, from handcrafted bowls to unique decorative forms like this vase. Every item carries the same philosophy you see here: honest materials, thoughtful design, and true craftsmanship. You'll find the link in the description below, and if this piece speaks to you, there may be something there waiting for your home. With the form complete, I remove the tenon using the spindle gouge. What once secured the vase to the lathe is carefully turned away, leaving the base clean and balanced. Every cut at this stage has to stay precise. Once the bottom is refined, it's time for the finish. I apply our own wood finish across the entire surface. Immediately, the grain deepens. The contrast becomes stronger. The white edge stands out with clarity against the warm yellow tones. This finish is available in our online store. You'll find the link in the description, and it's also shown here in the video. Finally, I treat the bark separately with mineral oil. It enriches the texture while preserving its natural, raw character. Now the transformation is complete. As this project comes to an end, what remains is more than just a vase. It's a piece of sumac wood that once stood in nature, now reshaped with intention and care. The contrast between the white edge and the golden tones, the natural bark, the elevated glass insert, each detail plays its part. Projects like this remind me why I love working with wood. It's never just about the final object. It's about the process, the decisions, the small adjustments along the way. If you enjoyed being part of this transformation, I invite you to continue the journey with us. There are many more pieces waiting to be shaped, many more stories hidden inside raw timber. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who appreciates true craftsmanship. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next project.